So I'm in Ireland, it's so amazing here, and in this video, it's me versus full auto. Who will win? How many photos have you taken?
0.
Great, me too. Oh my God, that's so good. And look at the light now, it's so spectacular. Boom, 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 boom. Good morning everyone, fantastic to see you all again. So I am in Ireland, near Dingle on the southwest coast, and it's very windy. There's many storms coming through. We've got amazing swell, and it's sunrise, which isn't great because we're on the west coast and we can't see the sunrise. But we're gonna hike up there, see what we can see, and I'm gonna challenge my camera. So I'm gonna take the shot and then I'm gonna put it on full auto, press the button. I'm not gonna tell it where to focus, anything, and it's gonna see what the shot is, who does best. Let's go. And I'm here with Mass and Michael. Not sure where they are. Okay, it's getting windier. We were here last night and it was windy, but I think it actually is even windier. But Hurricane Nigel is coming through. Good name, but not good for doing video or photography. We'll see what we can get and see if full auto compensates for the wind. I doubt it. Okay, so I've got my first shot, a difficult one to be fair, because there's quite a lot of depth of field in it. Even though I'm shooting at 14mm, I've got these rocks here on the left-hand side, and then this amazing sort of row of sea stacks going out into the ocean. It's so good here, it looks so amazing. Got a little bit of light from the morning light coming up here on the clouds. So me, personally, I'm gonna take a shot focused here, and I'm also going to bracket it as well, although I probably don't need to, because the histogram has got a little bit of room at each edge, so I think it'll be fine. So we'll do that, and then we'll see what full auto does, and I'm going to put it on program mode. So basically, I'm just going to change the mode to program. I'm going to put it on auto area focus, so it decides where to focus, and take the shot. And it's saying a 60th of a second f4. It's optimistic, I think, for this shot. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I've now got my 24-120 lens on, and it is around about 35mm. So I just want to there's a nice S-curve that you can just see sort of here coming in from the bottom. I'm not going to do any foreground, and the light's just hitting this sea cliff here, which looks really, really good. So yeah, I'm just going to shoot that, and I'm going to shoot it at f5.6. Maybe I'll go at f6.3, and I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to do a fast and a slow shutter speed. So I'm going to 125th of a second, and I don't need to focus stack on this, obviously, so should be fairly easy. So I'll take one manually with those settings, and I'm going to go for a program mode. I think it'll do better this time, but we'll see. I think it's got windier. I'll just move around, you'll hear me. That's the wind, that's without the wind. So I've got a shot here which is quite nice, but with no clouds in the bit that I want clouds, which is sort of here. But there's a really nice sort of swell here, and then we've got this super nice rock that's just catching the light on the side of it, which is giving it some really nice modelling. So I love that, and I really like the leading lines down from here as well. So it's quite a nice shot. This place is so epic. It's just so impressive. And Mass is flying his drone over there, which I just can't understand. But hopefully he'll get it back. Yeah, and I don't know, we've lost Michael. Don't know where he's gone. Well, the light's got a little bit harsher now, and we've lost those sort of nice clouds completely over there. But this foreground is being lit up beautifully, and it looks so, so nice. And it's a really good example, this, of shooting with a 14mm, how things change quite drastically than what your eye sees. So at the moment, I'm just shooting, I'll show you, I'll just put it on a video now, and I'm just shooting. And if you can see, I'm pointing almost vertically and you get so much sky in, but if I just move down, and you can just see how the foreground changes quite significantly and really creates this amazing sort of depth to the image, which looks so fantastic. So I'm going to take this, we'll do it manually, which will just be probably, I'll set my tripod up here and I'll focus here and in the distance there. And I'm going to do some fast shots and some slow shots, and then program mode, see what happens. This is amazing. So the light's really harsh now, but it's still really epic. The waves are getting bigger. It's just so amazing being by the ocean. So I've got a shot here where I've got these rocks here, sort of here, and then I really like this bit of rock here and this bit, and then the waves at a slower exposure just looks so good. I've put a polarizer and a 3-stop ND on to get around about just a second to a half a second, and I can be creative with that. Now, I just took a shot with the program mode, and it did it at a 20th of a second at f4, because it was thinking I want a hand hold. And this is where, you know, having control over it manually and choosing your shutter speed is so important when you come to seascape photography. Shutter speed is king, really, when it comes to seascapes, whether you want a really fast shutter speed to capture it or a bit of a slower one to create some more artistic flow to the waves. And yeah, I think what we're going to find is that the program mode is going to do a reasonable job of getting most things in focus, although we'll see, because sometimes it chose f4 where I don't understand why it did that. But really, you need to go and control that shutter speed. You need to try and understand how to shoot in manual mode, or aperture priority, but you need control over the shutter speed as well, and shutter priority. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to do it with and without a polarizer, I think, and yeah, that could be it, I think. I might just do a few close-ups with a long lens, maybe just down this ridge line here. But what an amazing morning it's been. Absolutely incredible. Okay, just to finish the morning, which has been such an epic morning. Mass is down there and I managed to get a shot of him, a slow motion shot actually, or a long exposure shot, about half a second of him just stood with the waves in the background. It looks so good, and hopefully Mass has stood still for long enough to get it, but it really has been an amazing morning. Let's go back to the studio, look at the photos. Doesn't get better than this. Okay, that was such an amazing trip that I've just had to Ireland. That was the first morning, well, the second morning actually. I'm going to show you a photo from the evening before, and I want to talk a little bit more about settings on cameras and how that compares with things like composition. I think there's a really interesting thing to chat about there. First of all, let me just show you a print from the last evening, which I didn't video. I've just printed it out, so I'll just grab it off my printer. And it was this print here. We had the most incredible conditions, but this wind was just like no wind that I've ever seen before. It really, really was just ridiculous. But what I wanted to do was talk about and look through some of the photos and talk about why I think that settings aren't as important as things like light and composition and location and all those sort of things. And often photographers get a little bit carried away with that. I certainly have in the past. Before I do that, I just want to say thanks to Sol Digital. Sol Digital are a fantastic platform if you want to print your images, and printing your images is something that I'm super passionate about. Now you might not have your own printer, but Sol Digital can sort that out for you. They're a fantastic way of getting really high quality photos from your images printed. You can get paper just like this. This is photo speed, but they've got paper, Hanamuli Photo Rag, I think it is, which is very similar to the paper that I use. Or you might want to print a book like the one I did here for Svolvard and East Greenland. If you want to print a book, there's 50% off in the discount code below. Or maybe you want to do a calendar or a gift for Christmas. This is something that I did for myself, which is an acrylic pebbles. So yeah, this was this was a little thing for my desk. Anyway, I'll put some links in the description below for Sol Digital. Go and check them out, and thanks ever so much, Sol, for sponsoring this episode. So what I want to explain is there's often a thought that the settings, how you're going to focus, where you're going to focus is super important. And I'm not dismissing that. It definitely is important. But the most important thing is light. You know, whether you're getting clouds that are really interesting, the composition is really important. How are you going to lay these things out? So if you look at an image like this one here, then you know, where I've put that rock, this rock here, and how it leads in, Mass on the headland here, all those things. And then when it all comes together like an evening, like the print I just showed you, you've got the composition and light all coming together. Now, if I'd have set my camera on full auto for this shot, it would have done a reasonable job. And I'd rather capture that than get everything absolutely perfect from a point of view of the settings. It's only when you, I think, get good at composition, get good at going out when the light's good, then you should start really thinking about your settings. And I think people get that the wrong way around, myself. So when you do care about settings, when you should care about settings, is when you want to get a little bit more creative. So like this shot here, the auto version of it just didn't look as good. I wanted a specific shutter speed for these waves here, and if I look at the auto version, it just shot it at, I think, a 15th of a second, and you can see they just don't look as good as they do on this one, where I've just got that nice texture. And that creative control is what comes with having, you know, manual control of your camera, and that is really, really important. But it's no point having that creative control and not being able to compose the image, or not trying to find good compositions, or not going out when the light is fantastic like this evening here, because that's ultimately what's going to get you the best shots. So it was a fun thing. Obviously, the main thing is just getting out. I had a fantastic time on that first morning in Ireland, and I cannot wait to share the next videos. I've got a challenge video, I've got some incredible conditions, incredible locations. in the southwest of Ireland that we went to with Darren, Michael and Mass. It really was spectacular. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching, and until next Sunday, bye. Oh my God, that's so good.